So we have a 5-year-old named Ben. He's in the ER with his parents, and he's post a respiratory infection, and so he's lethargic and has decreased mobility. He's on a ventilator, but they're trying to get him weaned off in like the next couple of days. So he is alert, follows simple commands, and then our tasks are to promote active range of motion, educate his parents what to do, and then to promote upright tolerance. So we created so first we wanted to work on his active range of motion. So one thing, and he's 5 years old, so we wanted to keep it kind of fun. So the first thing we thought of was to have him be able to sit up and do the Macarena to promote like range of motion in his upper extremity. I kind of maybe ask his parents if they could play the Macarena song, so you can also, while he's getting upper extremity range of motion, he can also like promote upright balance too, and postural control. And then some other things we thought of was for the parent education part of it is to explain like the prognosis of the disease. We kind of maybe thought it was the acute myelitis. So that's what we were kind of thinking it was. So we could educate them on that, and then some things they could do with him, like in bed, to keep like him moving around and like positioning in bed, to educate them on those things. And then also we have a paper airplane here, so also working on upright balance, maybe have him like sit up and like throw a paper airplane, which really like activates your core as well while you're growing at the same time. Or if like he's not into that, maybe see what his like favorite sport is and get like a ball of that sport, have him throw that. And then some other thing, which also promotes grip strength too, while he's doing that. And then we talked about earlier about like co-treatment with OTs. So if space allows, maybe doing like co-treatment with OT while they're like sitting up, brushing their teeth or brushing his hair. We can look at his ability to like sit up and do those kind of activities while they're looking at like the actual activity of daily living. And then some other education, I'm sure he's gonna get it from nursing, but like the call light, since he's in the ER, just making sure he knows like how to use that. And then some other things with his hand and grip strength, have him play with like Play-Doh, see if he's into that.
Okay, so a couple of things. He's 5. Okay, so call light will become a weapon. Or it'll a choking hazard or something. So, you know, I mean, as soon as you say to a 5-year-old, only touch this if you need something. They'll be, you know, like they'll need something. So, I would caution you on giving a prognosis because you're not the doctor. And you stumbled over yourself because you didn't quite know a disease process yet, which I'll give you that today. We learned a lot today. But treat what you see, and if the parents are asking, always defer them to the medical doctor. Be like, well, you know, if he's really, really weak and you expect him to see these changes, kind of stick within your lane of musculoskeletal. And then as you become as people know what he has and kind of where the prognosis is, if you know the family has been told something, you can reiterate that. But it's not really in our lane to talk about long-term prognosis along his vital health. So we need to, especially in pediatrics, the pediatricians are so good about giving up. They really, I always joke, pediatricians really wanted to be therapists, but somebody in their family told them they had to be a doctor. So, but the pediatricians want to stick right to medicine. Like they want to be like, I can fix you, I can do this. And as soon as it goes into, well, about development and stuff, they'll defer to the therapist pretty quickly, more so than in adult medicine. So leave them have their little specialty of talk to your doc about the illness part of it. What's a lightweight sort of thing that you could bat around this fun? Because again, he's 5. So 5-year-olds typically aren't putting stuff in their mouth anymore. They're, yeah.
I'm going to go back here.
Okay.
So, with this particular disease, AFM, what is one of the big hallmarks of that?
Like starts off with the respiratory and GI.
Right. But from a physical standpoint,
It's mainly like proximal.
Proximal weakness. So go ahead and sit up on that chair, or on that lid. So you're gonna get him up. Okay, so you're gonna get him, and you have a ventilator, and so it's quite a few people. So we're gonna go ahead and get Ben. Hey Ben, we're gonna get you up, get up there. So now we get him upright. One of the things that you may want to use, and there's a useful tool called the SAT code, segmental assessment of cervical and thoracic and lumbar support. So the one thing is, I want to see, does he even have support? So he has a vent here and everything. I just want to see, does he have head control? Because I know that if he doesn't have head control, I need to start there from the top down. This is the first thing I'm gonna work on is his head control. Ben, I just want you to hold here. And I might start doing an intervention with him. Can you I spy with my little eyes, and then I'm gonna say, make your eyes surprised for yes, make them squint for no. Because he has a shape. So you gotta think of a way that, again, 5-year-old, can you spy the red this, or whatever is in the room? So you're gonna use that environment. Okay, he has head control. Now I'm gonna see, does he have upper any shoulder control? And if he's all hunched down, I'm gonna provide him with that support. So I know that I at least need this support here, which becomes very important for if I want to get him up and into a chair, I need to know what kind of support device I need for him. And if I'm thinking long-term that he eventually is going to need a wheelchair, this gives me a lot of good information to give to, and we get into assistive technology, to my wheelchair vendor. But I also know that, okay, from segments T1 down, I don't have control.
So what you want to do is use what we're going is you'll get, as soon as you sit him up, if he has no trunk, he's going to completely collapse right here in the middle. And so you'll go in and bring your hands in and posteriorly get that lumbar, get some thoracic. So Mary starts at the top, I tend to start at the bottom. Start somewhere, it doesn't matter, to give him some trunk support. Without proximal stability, you can't use your arm, right? So if you're mushy here, you can't use your arm, even if your arms are strong. You want to give them some support. The beautiful thing about kids versus adults is they have lots of, and 5s are, they're not necessarily huge. You're usually bigger than a 5-year-old at this point, right? So you can there's some nice, easy positioning equipment that's laying around that you can get him sitting up, because they'll be laying flat in bed. And so if they're so sick they can't get out of bed, you can usually get like a little tumble chair or something that will sit right in the bed, or sit on the floor. It's okay for a 5-year-old to sit on the floor. It's not okay for an 85-year-old to sit on the floor, right? Or a 75-year-old. But a 5-year-old, you can put them right on the floor. It's really hard to fall off the floor. So lots of pediatric therapists will work on the floor. It's safe. And depending, again, where he's got some trunk stuff, you can get him to prop with his weak arm, but you're still providing that facilitation like Mary just did. Or again, and maybe you're doing some tapping to get those spine muscles, see if you can get anything, right? Does he respond to anything? A little tickle, a little touch. You can do more hands-on facilitation with kids than you can with adults, just because they're a little bit more, they're easier to facilitate and it's more playful and kid-friendly. But you have to stabilize there, right, in the middle first. And if he's doing that well, then have him sit up on a little bench. So if he's sitting on the floor, he's got a nice wide basic support because his legs are on the floor, right? If he's pretty good there, or if he's sitting in bed and he's pretty good there, then can you get him sitting up on like a little bench, like you progress him a little bit so his basic support is a little bit smaller. And then go to what can you do with those arms? But thinking about where your hands are, because that's going, just as Mary said, that's going to translate into equipment, especially if he's not getting motor return quickly. You can't just let him hang out in the bed, right? I mean, he's got to be up and moving, and you've got to be providing that external support so he can get up and move. And no parent and no therapist is going to carry him around with a little puppet right? I mean, you can do that for a little bit, but he needs to be able to sit and have a meal without somebody's hand up. So yeah, you have to, your hands are telling you what equipment you need when you're not there, and then, or what equipment he needs when you're not there. And in order to play, in order to do the little rec therapy that they're gonna do within the child life and all of that, so, you know, again, thinking about it, his head's flopping all over the place, because the cat doesn't have good trunk control, but how do you, if you give him good trunk control, is his head still flopping all over the place? So you have to recline him back a little bit.
So then I might, come here and, how far do I need of an incline to then eliminate, forces of gravity on his neck? What are the implications then for, that might be something that I'm working with speech therapy, because for angles and knowing if we need equipment that tilts and so forth.
Positioning is hugely important, right? Especially with people who have more of an overall body issue than a just one leg or one side issue. With kids, then think about balloons. Like balloons are, especially kids who don't put stuff in. Littles, like under 3, you can't use balloons because they chew out unless it's a mylar balloon, choke hazard. But balloons are nice because they're lightweight. You can bat around and do stuff with them. Get and do it.
Non-latex balloons.
Or blow up the non-latex glove.
Yeah.
Glove, tie them off and color on. But again, it's a lot of playful stuff. But for Ben early on, how can we get him up against gravity and start to interact again with his environment? But it's all about getting up against gravity.
And I don't know what your experience, my experience sometimes is, the kid does not want me touching him, but they want mom's okay to touch. And so I might be here closely observing and telling mom where to put her and engaging them because, sometimes I'm the last person that did.
So you become a coach. The other thing is quickly read who can be the bad guy in the family and who's the person to cheer. That will change day to day. But usually there's a parent that can be kind of a rough and tumble bad guy. Usually the dad can be very stereotypical. Usually the dad will get in there and rough out and they don't care if the kid's crying. And the softer, more emotional, fragile people are the mom. That is not always the case. Just discern who can be a little bit meaner today or a little bit more rigid, and who's going to be the safety net and come in and go through all the hugs and love it and all of that, and then who's going to be the bad guy. And check with the parents first and give them permission to be the soft, to be the rescuer, and to be the worker, and see who that is and see what's okay. But that's a good way to use the family, whoever around. And there's usually, oftentimes, there's gazillions of people hanging around that are looking for a cat. You gotta give them something.
So, just from an outcome measure standpoint, because I didn't address that in the lectures that I did, besides like your FIMs and stuff, you have the WE FIM for kids, but the SATCO did somebody do the SATCO last semester in your document? No. So the SATCO is that segmental outcome measure, and you can make your goal to have more control over various segments. So that's a nice outcome measure to use. The other one would be the goal attainment scale. Did somebody do the goal attainment scale?
Do you guys know the goal attainment scale? No. We'll spend some time.
Yeah, the goal attainment scale is another one. It is very nice because it can be utilized for very low level, stuff that is lower motor skill interventions and outcomes versus some of the other standard stuff that the outcome measures are just like, well, if I use that outcome, I'm never going to see any change in my score because it's all, the sensitivity of that instrument just isn't there. So goal attainment scale is another one. We can go into more in depth.
Let's do that because there's a really nice app that actually is created the goal attainment scale. All right, so does that make sense to everybody? Meet the kids where they're at, fine. So what's the progression then? We're going to move you to jump on that phase 2.
Okay, so now it's 4 weeks later, and he's in inpatient rehab. Our goals are to improve mobility, wheelchair and standing, improve transfers, and family education. and the tasks were to weight bearing activities for the upper and lower extremities, introduce mobility options.
Sorry, it'll be a little bit louder.
Introduce mobility options, weight bearing activities for upper and lower extremities, and teach family transfer positions.
So we actually discussed doing NDT and working on upper extremity strength through using gravity because we wanted to increase his upper extremity strength for the wheelchair. So we were going to have him sit up in the bed, do NDT,
When you say do NDT, what does it say?
stabilize the proximal joints. So stabilize the proximal joints.
Okay.
Right, that's what we just talked about. And we were going to have him first we thought of a ball, so someone can throw him the ball or he can throw the ball into random targets or something. But then we thought of a balloon, which you had addressed if the ball was too much.
So show us what you mean. This ball is an entertainment part.
So depending on where the weakness is in the trunk, so if you're stabilizing the pelvis or if it comes up the trunk area. If I had another therapist in front of me or a set up buckets we talked about where you can put on the spot buckets. Or if we had a balloon in front of me, you can reach up extra points.
Okay, so where are you going? So Ben has shoulder weakness, so he's weak here in his elbow, just like in the case we had in the thing. So elbows and hands are working pretty well. His cervical and thoracic spine is pretty weak, and his shoulders are pretty weak. So
We also want to much information.
I know. I'm giving
Oh.
Turn sideways for a second. So one thing, so one way that Taylor, right? All right, one way to facilitate was he just did this. Right? So that's one way. Okay. Another way to crack this is gentle hands, gentle hands. So you want it, and spread your finger. I'm a little person. You get big hands, okay? Get big hands. If you have big hands, make them gentle hands. Jazz hands. Isn't that what they say? But if you come in and use your thumbs and kind of get her to sit up a little bit here, you're stiff. I don't know how to do. No, come up. She's still stiff. So here we have a stiff system. Go ahead and sit up. Do you see that she does not move from her pelvis down? Go ahead. Slouch again. Now sit up. Doesn't move. It does not move, right? So typically, switch class for a second. You won't, at least you won't have to blow over. All right, go ahead. So slouch, so cat back, cat back. All right, then come on up and sit up straight. There, a little bit. Man, all you guys. You need to work on some lumbar movements. But anyway, come in and try to get your hands to get him to sit up straight. So go ahead and slouch again. So one way is you can just shove him. But then he's going to shove as a whole unit, right? The other way is to try to come in and just segmentally get him to sit up straight. So you might have to tickle his paraspinous a little bit, and then come up next to him, like that, okay? But try to get segmentally, but you gotta figure out, do they move or not ahead of time? To try to get some of that movement, and how they're moving. Alright, okay, so what was his, I brought the ball out. Why did I bring this big ball out? What can you do with it?
Hit Taylor with it.
You could sit on it, but he's kind of still floppy yet. All right, what else could we do with the ball?
Push it.
He's gonna get, it's gonna come into contact with the ball.
Sit on.
Yeah.
Lay it a little bit. He could push, what position is he gonna be in? Kneeling, sitting.
Yeah, we talked about training quadrupeds.
Quadruped. Okay, so you can have him, if you lay up on top of the ball, lay on top of the ball. So if you lay up on top of the ball, you can get somebody to come down into kneeling.
Oh, yeah.
And then pull up against here and kind of roll out and roll back. Okay. So roll the ball out a little bit. So they can kind of chase the ball and then they can come back. So you can use the ball, and then if they start to fatigue, you can keep going all the way. Okay? And then you can have them come on back and come back into a weight-bearing position and do some weight bearing, and then you can unweight them. All right? Or you can wait. You ready?
I guess.
Push that chair out of the way before you do some concussion. Tim's not here today. So you can do some weight bearing. If the arms were a problem, you can do some weight bearing through the arms. Okay? And right now, I don't have to worry about whether her trunk is supported or not. I just have to worry to make sure she doesn't tip over. Right? But again, he's 5, so you can do stuff like this.
You can have toys.
What?
Toys.
You can do toys, you could have dart, you can do whatever you want, you know. But yeah. But use your environment, and that's more fun, or you can hang them off your lap. But you're trying to get some extension. If you're trying to get them to sit up and get some extension, get them to do that extension anti-gravity, and then in sitting too. Anything else? No. Okay. So think about what you're trying to activate, and then get them to do that. All righty. Who's next? Loosen up your back.
Gary and Kevin, who do you guys have?
Zoe.
Who?
Zoe.
Oh, Zoe, come on, Zoe.
It says Zoe.
Yes. Go and tell us about Zoe.
So, on the playground, we're known as Zoe.
Junior player.
Do the same thing, Kevin. Get him in the wheelbarrow.
Alright, now get yourself to the order of progression.
Do it by tallest, but also shortest.
Where 1 week.
Zoe or Zoe? Hey, what's up? Do it by order of height. Chris, get in order of height.
Actually, they all have. How many you got?